Alright, so welcome, and of course we are going on. So for the advert objective, I'm just sticking with reach. Alright, so let's scroll down, let's see what's underneath. So right here we have where we're going to set the campaign name and of course choose our budget optimization, right? So I'll quickly explain this. Of course, we know what the campaign name is, just you going ahead to give your campaign a name so you don't lose it when you're actually looking for it. Alright, so let's quickly talk about this part here. So here we have create split test, we have campaign budget optimization, and of course we have set campaign budget, and we need to choose one of them. So question is, which of them can we or should we actually choose? Alright, so I'll quickly explain what they are. So for example, they create split test. So let's say you have two different ads in your mind. Let's say you wanted to run an ad, of course, and you don't know which ad creative, or let me come again, we have two different, or let's say you have an ad to run, right? You have an ad to run and you don't know what creative would work best for the ad. So basically you have like two ad creatives in your mind and you don't know which is going to perform best. What you do is to create the split test. So what this does is, if you put in 15,000 naira into this ad now, the split test will split the budget into 7,500 for one and 7,500 for the other, and then it will just basically run the campaign through with the 7,500 for each, right? And then of course you'll see at the end of the day which of the ad performs better or best. And then the second one is the campaign budget optimization. Now the difference between the campaign budget optimization and the create split test, well, the reason why I said difference is because they are kind of similar, right? So the difference is, for the split test, TikTok does not optimize the budget. TikTok allows the budget to run through. So whereby you are spending 15k, right, 7.5 for this ad creative, 7.5 for the other ad creative, TikTok is not going to optimize the budget. What do I mean by that? TikTok is not going to reduce the money that you are spending on the one that is not performing well. It is still going to spend the money that you have allocated from the beginning of the ad, right, until the ad ends. But in campaign budget optimization, the ad that is not performing well, TikTok is going to reduce the amount it is pushing to that ad and basically focus more of the money to the ad that is actually performing best. So that's the difference, or the basic difference, between the campaign budget optimization and the create split test. Alright, and then the last one we have here is the set campaign budget. This one is basically the generic one, whereby you just basically set the budget. You have just one ad creative in mind and you're just going to do it. You're not having variations, you're just sticking with one ad creative and you're pushing up your campaign. Alright, so for this example here, I'm going to stick with this and I'll click on this, and then I get to set how much I want to spend. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and put in here, let's say I wanted to spend 15,000 naira entirely for the ad, right? So let's see, for this campaign, right, I want to spend 15,000 naira, so I'm budgeting 15,000 naira for this ad campaign. So I click on that, I'll put that in, and then I click on continue. Alright, so we are here now, and as you can see, we are in the ad group section. So let's quickly talk about the ad group. What does ad group actually mean? So the ad group is more like your ad set. So when we talk about Facebook ad now, we will say we have campaign level, ad set level, and then the ad level. So in TikTok, we have campaign, ad group level, and then the ad level. So the ad group level is basically where you get to set who is going to see your ad, right? Who is going to see your ad and where are they going to see it? So that's basically what the ad group is. So first things first, you want to give your ad group a name. So you can basically click here, right? And then just edit the name right here. And then for the placements, as you can see, for now it's just TikTok, right? Just TikTok right there. So we'll just let that be. And then we come to targeting, right? Targeting. So let's talk about targeting. This is basically where you get to set where you want your ad to show up. Alright, so for demographics right here, you are going to select the location. So if, for example, you want your ads to shop to people in Lagos, to shop to people in Abuja and the rest of the states in Nigeria, or you even want to go outside, you want to target some countries, in Europe, in South Africa and the rest of it like that, this is basically where you get to set it up in the locations tab, right? So it's basic. And then we come to the age part. Of course, this tells you who you are basically trying to target. So for TikTok, you can basically see that, well, I think I'll have to create a lesson to show you that. But then here on the age bracket, 25 to 34, right, is the age with the most, engaging time on TikTok, right? So you need to make, of course, you need to make your research to be able to know that. All right, so gender, right? Who are you selling, or who are you advertising your products to, or who are you showing your ads to? Is it to male, female, or all of them? That's basically what this is. And of course, languages, you just go ahead to select English. So your ad is going to show to people who speak English, and you're basically sure of that. All right, so this part now says spending power. All right, so what does it mean? It says spending power relates to the degree to which people have money to buy products and services. High spending people typically spend more on purchases than the average user. All right, so for my candid advice, right, I want you to test it out now, because for different businesses it might vary. It might vary in terms of conversion, in the sense that you might select high spending power, right, and get a lower reach, right? So as you can see here, the audience becomes narrow, or you select all and get a wider reach. Do you understand exactly what I'm saying? As you can see right here. So you want to test it out, try out one ad and then try out another with high spending power and see the results that you basically get from the ads. All right, so that's it. And then we come to audience. All right, so we come to audience. Do you have any saved audience that you want to include? All right, so if you do, here is basically where you're going to see it. Or if you don't yet, surely if you're just creating an ad for the first time, you wouldn't see any audience like this. So it's basic. So I just leave that for the include audience. But when you begin to have audience, you can basically create new and of course name that audience and basically use them. All right, so that's it. And then we have the exclude audience here. What kind of or which of the audiences do you want to exclude? It's basic. All right, so here we have interest and behaviors. Of course, still the same ideology with the meta ads. On TikTok ads right here, right, you're still able to select the interest, the people, what the people are basically interested in, right? You're basically able to select them. So you can click on this drop down here, and then you can begin to search out interest. Like for example, under interest here, we have travel, e-commerce, food, beverage, baby and kids products, news and entertainment, apps, games, business services, sports and outdoors, live services, and the likes, right? So for video interactions, for example, right, you can basically see all the kinds of interests that you can basically target. I believe that TikTok is a very powerful tool that advertisers can actually leverage and actually make so much money advertising on TikTok. Right, so that's for the interest and the behavior. So I just go ahead and select one for this purpose. Let's say I'm going to select interest on, let's say, beauty and personal care, for example. Yep, so that's it, and then I'll proceed. So the device actually is asking you, what devices do you want to show your ads on? Is it on Android devices or on iOS? I always suggest you go with all, right? And then we'll just let this be on all, let this be on all, and then connection type, let it be on all. Carriers, let's click, in fact, let it just be on all for this. Internet service providers, let it be on all. And then device price, any price basically, right? Then that's by the way, right? You can still select a specific range, but I don't advise that. Just allow it on any price. And then basically you can go ahead and save this audience, right? Save new audience. After you've selected everything you want to do here, after you've given all the details you need, you just go ahead and click on save new audience. So that's basically how you're able to store audience based on their interests, demographics, and the likes. All right, so now we come to budget and schedule, right? So this here we get to set how much we want to spend per day, right? So as you can see right here, we can choose to spend at least 1,500 naira per day. That's based on you, of course, and how much you want to convert at the end of the day. So I advise you start with this, and then you can proceed and get right. And then the schedule time right here, right, basically when the time is starting or when your ad is actually going out, right? That's basically what this says. And of course your time zone has to be correct. And then of course you want to set an end date. If you're going to set an end date, you click on this, right, and then you should be able to start or set an end date. So this is the start date and then this is the end date, right? Then day pattern, basically, do you want your ad to run all through the day or you want it to be paused at specific times of the day? All right, and then we have bidding on optimization, which basically talks about how many times your ads would show to people in a particular day, right? That's for the target frequency. And then for the frequency cap here, it says show ads no more than 3 times every 7 days. So you just go ahead to choose, right? So I prefer sticking with the target frequency, show ads 3 times every day, 7 days, right? So I think this is fair enough. And then this bid control, you can just leave it this way. All right, so that's it basically about the ad group level within TikTok ads. I hope that you have been able to gain something and you'll be able to implement this.